Good evening, people. It's daylight savings, and God, I didn't know. I was talking to Paul, and I was chatting away, and I was sitting he said, Mick, it's daylight savings. And God, and lo and behold, I'm here. But we are here to talk about Manchester United. Forget about all the transfer news. Forget about all this takeover, this spin, and everything. Let's talk United. Are you with us? Let's go. Guys, welcome to the show. What a scintillating panelist I have, or may I say, realist pundits. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Who should I start with? I haven't seen this guy for so long. I thought he was adopted by aliens. Phil Standish, how you doing, mate?
It's good to be back. I have missed this show. I have missed doing podcasts. I've been on a social media sabbatical for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been trying to be good and hardly been on Twitter or anything whatsoever. So yeah, I've missed it. I've missed doing podcasts. So yeah, it's good to be back. Looking forward to catch up with the boys tonight.
It's good to be back because Prem is also coming back on Sunday. We're playing Newcastle, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah. Cannot wait for that. Really excited. Obviously, we've had the international break. Some are interested, some aren't. But yeah, to get Man United back on the screen against Newcastle, what a way to come back from a international break. Hit the floor running.
Right, I have two lovely gentlemen below down there, in the bottom tier. They've been on the show before, but I want to present a debutant, Mr. Twitter Spaces that we've been doing a lot of takeover talks on the Spaces. Mr. Paul White, welcome to the show. And obviously, you're not watching Ireland, being in Irish.
Well, I'm from Northern Ireland, so that's a touchy subject. We'll not go there. Plus, my dad is from London as well, so I'll not reveal any allegiances when it comes to my national team.
Well, I literally have to send his wife, Sarah, a very polite message to borrow him today. And she said, I actually, what did I say? I said, please, can I borrow Paul for 1 hour and you can have him for the rest of your life?
I think she regrets that.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Paul. Also, Kojo, scintillating Kojo. How you doing, my friend? All good?
Yeah, all good. Can't complain. I've kind of taken a break from football, from internationals, because I don't waste my time with that stuff. It's club football, United stuff. That's where we're going. So when you shouted me for my United podcast, I was like, yeah, we're back. So yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Well, I'm good, thank you, and thank you. I'm like you. I don't watch internationals. I am. I know who's playing today. Ireland, France, Sweden, Azerbaijan. Zlatan is playing. 41 years of age. You will show what Lions is all about. I'm good. I'm counting my chickens. 2 weeks left until I return back to Europe. As you guys know, I've been a digital nomad living here in Thailand, escaping the winter since 1st of December, counting my days, going back home to normal timing. And yeah, I'm good. Just excited that the Premier League is coming back. Obviously excited that we are on the roadmap to potentially win a treble. There's a lot of things that I'm interested and excited about in United, but I don't want to talk about the takeover. There's also another thing. But I want to go to the gentleman at the, let's see, right bottom of the corner, because I haven't seen him for ages. But welcome back, Bryant Stinson, all the way from USA. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, man, doing well. The international break has been kind of boring, so I'm ready to get back to talking about United and watching United. So glad to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Gentlemen, that concludes the whole panel. And what are we going to talk about today? Well, the topics are kind of up there. And if you guys look up there, if you haven't yet, like them, subscribe, take a breath, because YouTube has changed the algorithms. It's all about liking. So if everyone that's watching now can hit that like button, hit it now, smash it now, give the thumbs up, because obviously the more people are liking, the more the videos go up in algorithm. Otherwise, all this beautiful content that we're making for you guys, Manchester United fans all around the world, would just perish in the ether somewhere. So please, we are going to talk about Manchester United so far. We're going to rate it. You guys in the there's a viewing, you are the 12th players, you are the crowd, but please interact in the chat group. Send us your questions, because we're going to look at review where we are so far. We're going to look at the best moments, what you cherish the best out of this season, what you panel are doing, what your audience are doing. And I have a very special treat for you guys today. I have compiled a compilation of the 10, let's say a bonus, 11 best goals scored this season. Only Phil Standish have seen it. He says his reckon is good. But we're going to vote on the best goals scored so far this season as well. So this is going to be fun. And then the theme of this show is, can we win a treble? We already got the Carabao Cup. It's been 6 years. That is in the cupboard right now. They're dusting it in Carrington, you know, as we talk. They're really polishing it, the trophy every day, what I heard. So we're going to look at the roadmap and we're going to discuss what we are in front of us. This is all coming up in April. And of course, we're going to discuss about the player of the year. Are you guys ready to kick off the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Let's go. And we're back, and it feels good to be back because I've been working really hard today to make these graphics, the intros and everything, and the treble is incoming. Guys, how are we feeling? If we look at United so far, what would you say has been good and bad in terms of style of play? Can be anything, like, you know, anyone. The mic is open, it's yours. Phil, take it away.
Yeah, for me, the best Man United moment so far, I think, for this season, it just has to be Ten Hag. Just has to be the fact that we've, you know, he's absolutely transformed what has happened at this club. Without him, we wouldn't be where we were. With the signings that he's made, with the difference he's made on the pitch, with the difference he's made off the pitch, with the big decisions that he's made. To me, the Man United moment so far of this season has got to be Ten Hag. I mean, obviously we've got a trophy back in the cabinet, which is great. With potentially more on the horizon, possibly another 2 or 3. Do we say it? But yeah,
can we be giddy? Can we be giddy? Can we have 2, please?
Yeah, I'm hoping 3 and maybe even, you know, 4. I'm not ruling 4 out yet. I'm just not ruling them out yet. I just think at the end of the day, we've got every opportunity. We're still in competitions. Nothing's written out yet. Nothing's impossible. We've got the chances. We've got players coming back from suspension and from injury. So yeah, let's just see what comes of it.
I think you're covering up Kojo with this banner so you can remove it.
Yeah, it wasn't a minute ago. He's gone now.
Let's go to Kojo. Like, you know, share your experience and you know, let us know your feelings.
I'm happy with the season. I'll give it maybe a 7 out of 10 overall if I'm waiting for a number. I would have given it an 8, but there are 2 very huge losses that I can't get off my mind. I think we know what we're talking about. We're not going to go there.
We're not going to say 7 up, are we?
No. We're not saying anything silly like that, you know. But truth be told, it's been a good season. If you want me to pick a moment, probably beating City. And the reason I say that is because we have beaten City before with, you know, previous managers that have come under Sir Alex, but the main thing for me is not only against City, is against other teams as well this year. It's there's a difference in change of mentality. Usually when Man United go ahead go behind in a big game, you just worry. You're just like, oh no, like obviously one of the games that we obviously lost. But more so this season, more often than not, when we've gone behind, we've at least been able to come back into the game. Even if we've lost, we've, you know, taken it to the wire. I mean, I think of Arsenal away. They scored, we equalized. They scored, we equalized. We're never out of the game. It took them a last-minute winner. They got a bit of luck to get that goal, but it just shows that there's a bit of character and a bit of passion back in the squad. And they want to win things, and they want to win, and they want to carry themselves proud on the pitch. So, yeah, I'd say that's my moment. But I'm proud of the team overall this year. It's been a good year so far.
100%. I'm proud of the team too. I mean, so far, what all of you have been saying. I mean, we never expected to be in this position where we are, and look at us now. We're staring at potentially winning a treble, like, you know. So yeah, big up Kojo, like big up, big up. Who wants to go next? I will go with the debutant because I will leave Brian Stinson because I really like Brian's analogies as well. So go with Paul because you're the debutant. Paul, share us your best moments and your feelings about United so far.
Well, I think United so far surprising really this season. Not just it's how the players have bought onto his idea. You know, if we take the first 2 games out of the start of the season, the rest of it has been seen. You can see there. We could say some players may not have the ability to do it, but they're giving. They're trying. Look at Bruno, like that man's what 4 years younger than me, but he looks about he's 18. The games he puts rubbish. But United moment for me this season has to be the re-rise of Rashford. From the grief that people were giving them through social media last year, you know, just the death that people were giving him because they didn't understand this kid was overplayed, had a back injury, you know, coming back into when he came back into that team was a mess last year, and he's risen to the occasion. He's put his head into the game, and it's just been wonderful to see again. Just a pure Marcus Rashford performance, you know, and plus some of the goals he scored. I think I am hoping that Rashford's Barcelona goal in the second leg is in that little compilation you've got together later on. If not, I'm going to be very upset.
Oh well, I wish I can be 8 to clone myself. So unfortunately, I'm not. We will see what's in the chocolate box. Like Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolate. Never know what you get. So I agree with you what you're saying about Rashford, and if everyone in this panel can do 1, 2, 3 like this now, that would be great because that has been his signature of mental strength, right? And that kind of sort of symbolize that if you put your mind to anything, you can accomplish. You can be anything that you want. So don't listen what people are telling you. Don't let people tell you you are worthless or anything else. You know, the only one that can stop yourself is you. You know, so big up to Rashford because I believe he got a lot of stick last season, and like any other human beings, they read social media. I certainly believe they read social media, and it certainly affects them as well. So big up for Rashford as well. Bryant Stinson, let us know what your thoughts and feelings are. Unmute yourself and take it away, sir.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to think. Man, the biggest moment of the season for me. Honestly, like it's so much has happened this season. It's really been a classic Manchester United season, which is your typical roller coaster, all the ups and downs, the things that take place throughout the season. Manchester United never make things easy or straightforward. So especially in recent years. But for me, it could have gone so differently had United not beaten Liverpool right after losing to Brighton and Brentford. It could have gone so differently. The feeling around the club could have been so different if Liverpool would have just come into Old Trafford and absolutely put us to bed. I mean, Ten Hag everybody would have been throwing Ten Hag out immediately. You know, people would have had not a whole lot of time for him. And the way that he has adapted, because here's the thing for me, I agree with Phil. My moment for this season is Erik Ten Hag. The squad, in my opinion, is not much better than it was last season. I just think we have an absolute baller of a manager. That's really what it is for me. Ten Hag is the guy. Like he has papered over a lot of the cracks this season. He's gotten a lot of things right. He's gotten a lot of things wrong, but he's come in. He's profiled the players. He knows their strengths. He knows their weaknesses, and he uses them accordingly. And he's getting results. Which is giving him time to go out and do the things that he needs to do. Right. And I think for me, like the result, like football is a results business, and Ten Hag knows that, and he's coming this season. He's put Manchester United in a position to get results. Not a whole lot of squad rotation because beyond the first 11, it ain't that great, right? So he's working with what he's got, but he's been doing a fantastic job, and at the very top of that list for me is Marcus Rashford. The season he's having is incredible, up there with some of the most informed players in the world. So long may it continue. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
It has been. I agree. For me, it's been. I guess I go last. I think the overall sheer excitement to see Erik ten Hag football, what it's all about, knowing where we were last season in May when everyone was down tooling. It was miserable to be a Manchester United supporter. And looking at the board wanted to appoint Pochettino, and I was going, no. And we finally got Ten Hag. So for me, I was in pre-season in Thailand. I was watching them train in Bangkok, and I thought, this guy is serious, right? So I'm just like, that was a happy moment to be in Bangkok, to see them train and to see, like, the place was actually getting punished and doing push-ups and stuff like that. So that's quite awesome. But I would say that there's so many players that have been revived under Erik ten Hag. It's just his shared, mentality of, he instills his winning mentality into the squad, and he always wants more. He's never satisfied. You know what I mean? So that's kind of smeared off in terms of in the fan base as well. So it's kind of united the whole fan base. We stood on a platform in Manchester. We've been standing still for so many years, appointed the wrong managers, and we got Erik ten Hag, and off he went with the train, right? And everyone was all on board, right? So there's so many players that has been improved under him. We're talking about Wan-Bissaka, we talk about Rashford. I totally agree on Rashford, because look at how many goals he's bagging right now. He's bagging with his head as well, right? We've never seen Rashford banging it with his head. He was always closing his eyes. But how many goals has he scored? 27 now in all comps, right? Yeah, 27 in all comps. And just that sheer moment of joy when we actually won the trophy, I was in tears. After I did a post-match review with Daly, and I was in tears of joy, because it's been far too long. We've been deprived of having this joy of actually having a trophy in the cabinet, to have silverware. So that moment for me was one of my proudest moments. I know people's just saying it's Carabao Cup, but it's a silverware. It's a cabinet filled with another trophy. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but that is my proudest moment for this season. It is the actually trophy lift.
For those people that say it's just a Carabao Cup, I don't listen to that, because if it's their team winning it, we know what we're hearing, and that's just what it is. City, I think, won it. Was it 4-5 years in a row, and they weren't shutting up about it. They had the cheek, the nerve to go and tweet that they had won the quadruple. I remember seeing that tweet and thinking, hold on, Premier League,
yeah,
Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao. What's the other one? It took me a while to realize they're talking about the Charity Shield. So if they can stoop to those levels for something that's not even, it's called a shield. You know what I'm saying? But it's entered the trophy cabinet, and for anyone that pays attention to the managers that have come here and won things, Mourinho, Pep, Mourinho again, it was their first trophy in this country, and then they went on to win even more. So if Ten Hag is grabbing that as his first trophy as well, so be it, and hopefully there's many more to come. So yeah, man, people can say whatever they want about it. It enters the trophy cabinet at the end of the day, and it means that we'll be more successful than you.
They're just salty. Then they are rattled now. We got the right manager. We have finally appointed the right manager. We are on the winning ways, and rivals are scared. You can tell, actually. Even press, even media, also in a way. So if we kind of looking ahead, then where we're sitting currently, we're speaking a lot about Erik ten Hag's results. I mean, guys, if you look at the Premier League table today, I mean, we are on international break. We're just about to finish. Knowing where we are today, let's take it back 1 year where you were sitting. Would you predict that we would sit on a third and winning a Carabao Cup? and being challenging for potential treble this season?
I think, to be honest, I think, you know, when you look at where we were, everyone was writing us off, you know, when Liverpool won the lockdown trophy, and there was no one there to celebrate. You know, that was their moment. Obviously, nobody was there for it, but well done to them. And, you know, but during that time, it was like, oh, this is the best team that the Premier League's ever seen in 20 years. Is this the best Premier League team we've ever seen? And it was just like, oh, you're getting a little bit carried away. Oh, United, that's it. Well, we saw it with Liverpool and we were gone for years. And United won't be back for another 10, 12, 15 years. They're going to take years to rebuild. And it was like, suddenly Ten Hag came in and went, no, I don't think so. Don't think so. I completely disagree with that. And he obviously made that statement in his first press conference. Can't remember his exact words, but basically it was his version of, yeah, we'll knock them back off the perch. You know, and he said that in his opening presser, that, you know, they're there to be broken.
All eras come to an end.
That was it. All eras come to an end. Thank you. That was the one. That's exactly the one. And that moment, that was his, to me, that was a defining moment in the season straight away, where you've seen like the likes of Moise and Van Gaal, and even Mourinho to some extent. They were all like, oh, well, yeah, we'll do what we can with the team. We'll do what we can. Ten Hag was like, no, I will win. I will win something with this club. I will get this club back to where it belongs. And straight away, that must have drawn fear into the league, because people started to believe again. The players started to believe. People started to listen, apart from those who were trying to say Conte would have been a better manager. Enough said about that.
Conte, where did Conte go?
How many people were begging, let's get Conte in? Oh, he's going to be the best manager. He's fantastic. He'll shore up the defence. It's like, yeah, he's now, you know, just took his paycheck to leave, and Levy's not very happy with that, but he's looking to get Nagelsmann in now, isn't he? But yeah, but you know, Ten Hag, absolutely the best decision, and yeah, what a manager, fantastic.
It's like the Italian that went to Sperzi, eh? Bada bing, bada boom, Mickey Blue Eyes, eh?
Oh, that But if I was right, we were supposed to get, they were calling for us to get Conte in, what was it, before we got Ragnick in, wasn't it? It was that December for Conte coming to United after Ollie. And then it was Pochettino then. It was Pochettino versus Eric Ten Hag, the interviews that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, Ten Hag probably sat down there and told them guys how football's meant to be played.
Conte was always fighting a losing battle at Spurs, man. If you go to Spurs is as my friend Chiellini says, the history. It's the history of the Tottenham. You know, you just, no matter what you do, you're not gonna win there. In fact, the only times Conte and Mourinho have not won anything, the less said the better. I'll finish it there. The only places that haven't won anything in their whole career is North London. So
there you go. And and Conte wasn't. I mean, fair play for calling it out, for having some cojones. What he said, of course, that's sackable offense. But he said, like, you know, you haven't won anything for 20 years. You have no ambition, you know, and call a spade, right? In a way. But listen, Brian, going back to, you know, you living in a different continent, you're watching the game in different times. I think it's, I don't know, how many hours behind are you? Like, you know, are you what, 7 hours behind or forward or?
5.
5. Forward or behind? So usually, like, barring that you were watching the games last season and you were pulling your hair out, like, you know, to the point that you didn't have any hair left. I mean, sorry. Looking at this results right now, 15 wins, 5 draws, 6 losses. And do you think we have a chance to reach the 80 points tally that we haven't done since Jose Mourinho?
Oh man, we actually haven't been that great in the Premier League lately, haven't we? I mean,
we're getting burned out.
Let's be honest. You know, United have actually been on a bit of a skid recently. Of course, they could reach 80 points, but I think that United are gonna. There's still some things along the way that they have to get right towards the kind of on this back half of the season, right? I mean, there's still some things there's still some like uphill battles that the club has to fight in order to reach the 80 point tally. Losing Garnacho was not a good thing to happen at the business end of the season, especially when you're chasing trophies. One of the things that Erik ten Hag has done since he's come back in is make players coming off the bench relevant again, right? And so and Garnacho has been a linchpin for a lot of that. So the fact that we've lost Garnacho probably for the rest of the season.
You think so?
Is one thing. It'll be close. If he comes back, he may have like a game or two to play. It's going to be close. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think he'll play again, but I don't think it'll be much. We've lost. We really lacking some firepower. 𝒂𝒊𝒄 has done great in the more physical aspects of the game, but the poor guy can't finish. So
he can't finish this dinner.
He can't finish. He can't finish. Even when there's no goalkeeper in front of him, he still can't finish. So,
you're right. You invite him to the dinner table, but he can't finish the dinner.
Yeah, and it is what it is, But like there's still some offensive issues that are in the club, right? Getting Martial back is a positive thing, and we just can't rely on Rashford for all of the goals from now to the end of the season. If his goals dry up, then there's a huge question mark about where the rest of the goals are going to come from in the club. So, and if United don't want to be dragged down deep into a top 4 battle, which, I mean, they really are already in one, their games in hand might save them a little bit, but they don't want to be dragged down deep into a top 4 fight, then they've got to be consistent in the Premier League. And we got some tough fixtures coming up that could make things difficult. I mean, like Sean Dyche has come into Old Trafford with Everton, and Sean Dyche loves to take points off of Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Sean Dyche.
Brentford will be a big one. I mean, Brentford are a good side. Newcastle will be a big game. I'm sure they'll be out for revenge. And then we got Tottenham and Chelsea still to play as well. It's not going to be straightforward from now to the end of the Premier League season. I don't want the club to be dragged into a top 4 race, because if that happens, they might not finish in the top 4. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I do have to apologize. I spotted something. We actually have 13 Prem games left to play. I put 14. So yeah. Kojo, question. Knowing some players had some break, we saw Fred, getting his finally the well-deserved honeymoon in Maldives. We saw Bruno getting a break. Rashford is getting a break. Barring that we were playing 3 games a week, do you think there is a chance for them getting burned out, or you think that players like Eriksen's coming back, we've seen Martial's coming back? Do you think we're going to finish strong, or do you think we're going to burn out and fight for 4th?
I think we'll finish strong. I think these 2 weeks for a lot of these guys has been good to just get some rest. There are some guys that are naturally fitter than others, like Casemiro is naturally fitter than Rashford, for example. I don't know. But the 2 weeks has been good. We've played a stupid amount of games. Obviously, when you're in all competitions, that is what's going to happen. Man United actually have the record for the most games played in a season if you go back to 1999. So if we're going to compete for things, you have to suck it up, and unfortunately, this is how it is. But I think we'll be okay. I think the biggest test for us right now, I see the 3 games you circled, but I'm looking for a mentality thing against Brentford and Brighton, because those 2 are the games where we started the season off terribly.
Brentford. Yeah, we got
our
ass whooped.
We got absolutely destroyed at Brentford. Brighton came to Old Trafford and scored us on the pitch. And, we have to go into these games and say, okay, one came to our house, we went to the other one's house, and they dealt with us. We need to deal with them, because these are also 2 teams that are in good form, that are actually trying to get a European spot. Brighton are doing well in the league. Brentford are doing well in the league. I'm not so worried about Tottenham and Chelsea. I think we can deal with them. Newcastle was a tough game, but if anyone's noticed Newcastle's form, they've won 2 out of the last 9. So, as much as we've dropped a bit of form in recent time, so have they. So, I'm thinking that we can get the wins and finish the season strong. 1 or 2 draws here, maybe 1 loss somewhere. Hopefully not. I mean, I don't want to ever wish that, but one way or another, I think we're doing well. And yeah, man, there's no reason for United fans to not be hopeful that we get a load of points and finish strong. If we can get over 80 points again, fantastic. And then next season, aim for more.
Guys, do you feel comfortable? Do you agree what Mr. Kojo is saying? I am. I'm feeling optimistic.
I think I would say the top four to get dragged into or not get dragged into a top four race is going to depend on our next 3 games without Casemiro, especially the Newcastle game, because he's going to be a big miss for that game. We've seen the difference Newcastle had when their former Bruno started suffering a wee bit in that cup final, and we were just able then to push on to their midfield. So that'll be a tough one without him. And I'm just hoping we do not get Tottenham with a new manager bounce. Just let them sign Nagelsmann, because that's basically who they're going to sign like next week, so we don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks and get them on a new manager bounce. That's the last thing you want is Spurs to get hyped up, because they like to get hyped up and then brought back down to level again. That's what Spurs do. They get hyped and then they go Spursy. Yeah. So we just don't want that to happen when we play them. Let it happen when they play Arsenal, just not when they play us.
I don't know. I mean, just
before us, come to think of it.
I'm just gonna, just look at the table, like, where are we and where it's like we have a few games
we have 2 games in hand on Spurs and we're 1 point ahead of them.
Yeah. I mean, come on, and they sack Conte, depending on who they bring in or if they're keeping the head coach as an interim for the rest of the season. But I don't see this. Liverpool, yeah. I mean, Liverpool. What do you think about Liverpool? Are they there to be caught, or are they there to be catched?
Liverpool, Brighton could go above them. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right. Brighton have like 2 free games in hand on Liverpool. Newcastle
do you think
have at least a game.
Do you think Klopp has lost the plot, or?
And healers only work for 7 years.
All right. 7. I have a special interview with Klopp here. That, if you don't mind, for sensitive ears, cover your ears. This is a Klopp exclusive.
Fuck me. How the fuck did we go from beating United 7-0 to losing to fucking Bournemouth? I am convinced that this team is retarded when they play away from home, because what the fuck was that performance? At least we should have got a draw. But Salah had to miss that pen. That pen was more bent than Reece James. Honestly, I am convinced that Fabinho is touching 40. Someone check the man's passport, and honestly, Gakpo is just Joel Matip up front. Van Disney defended like Trent today, because how the fuck did he get done by Ouattara like that? Speaking of Trent, he can't defend for shit. The only reason I play him because he gives the best blowjobs. And now we have to play Real Madrid next away. Fuck me.
And how did that go? I'm sorry, gents. Cover your ears if there was some swear words, but it's a little bit of banter. It's Monday. We're having a little bit of laugh and having a little bit of joke. And enter into the fray all the way from Boston, USA. Powerhour, where have you been, my friend?
Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? Sorry, I'm a little late, but I've been tuned in listening to you guys.
Yeah, it's like that song. Who sings that? I'm a little late, little now. I'm torn. What's it called, that song? Anyway, I'm always
Natalie Imbruglia.
Yeah, it's it. A little bit torn.
Can't live in that. That's really embarrassing.
Botswana, Papi, you're coming in for the best treat, right? How you been? Haven't seen you for ages.
I've been great. I've been pretty much, agreeing with pretty much everything that's been said. There's been so many great best moments to pick from. So there's like, lots of things to look back on as a United fan and be like, oh, we're so happy that we're making progress. We're obviously in a place where we didn't imagine we would be, and we just right now we have a very good manager and we're on the brink of new ownership, and that's the exciting part. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm riding that euphoria right now.
Euphoria. Yeah.
Man United moment this season. Not really many of us have mentioned the fact that United did beat Barcelona over two leg when they conceded like 3 goals or something like that, 3 or 4 goals for most of the season. And nobody really gave us a chance in that. They thought, yeah, this is where United are going out. That's where they're going to fall. And we've just stood tall again. We've come up against. We know that it was mentioned earlier, Kojo. Absolutely, we've lost some real embarrassing results this season in some big games. But at the end of the day, we lost 3 points in each of those, and nothing more than that. A little bit of pride, but apart from that, we had a chance to bounce back. But in the cups, in the big games, we've stood up. For whatever reason it occurred, we saw the situation with Fulham the other week. We know exactly what happened with that. Everyone's saying that we wouldn't have stood a chance if Mitrovic hadn't gone off and stuff. But what everybody's forgetting is that before Mitrovic went off, we'd actually scored that goal. It was over. It was a handball. It was all right. It was a penalty, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
So that aside, so I just think that where we need to stand up this season, we have done, and I still don't think it's over. I think that, and I don't think we're going to win the league. I think that's too late now. We're losing those games against Liverpool and Southampton. To me, that was the moment where once Liverpool and Southampton, those losses came in, that was our title charge over, if there was a chance. Now, the thing is, when you look at the fixture results that's left for the likes of Arsenal, City, even for Newcastle, they have, on paper, got a tougher running than we have. And so I still think at the end we'll be in the top 4. I don't think we'll be knocked out of the top 4. I think we'll finish in the top 4. But it will be dependent on injuries and suspensions, as we've seen with Casemiro now. With his, this is going to hit us. It's going to be a big test for us against Newcastle. If Scott McTominay really wants to go there, maybe it's time to show how good he can be. West Ham, Brentford,
40 million.
Well, do you know what? Say again. 40 million. I heard that 40 million for Scott
30
McTominay.
or 40 million. What do you think?
It's not happening, is it? It's never going to happen. If McTominay leaves, you're talking £18 million player. He's fringe.
Right.
I don't think they'll get a lot for him. He's one of those players who United don't seem to sell well. I can't remember the last time they sold a player well. We gave Pogba away and bought him back twice. We're just not great at selling players, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? So
hopefully with this new ownership, we get better on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but will we, or will we just get told, tuck to the cleaners even more because we've got unlimited blank checks? Do you know what I mean? So it's lose-lose for United. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and for whatever reason, we've never been able to negotiate a good fee.
Right.
So yeah.
Listen, Phil, negotiator. I was going to say the new negotiator we're bringing in. You need to keep an eye on him. The guy that's he's contract negotiator from Adidas. If anybody knows anything to do with sport, he is not a guy to be messed with, and he's probably well respected along all sporting, be it players to clubs to club officials. He's done contracts and dealings with almost all of top European clubs. So that appointment by Arnold Murdoch is unreal. To be totally fair,
is that regardless of the takeover?
He's best in class. Doesn't matter who takes over. He's your best in class for dealing with sporting contracts. Out of everybody available, he would be a best in class.
That was the one that was recently appointed 3 weeks ago, right?
2 weeks ago, or was it last week?
I think
it was really close. It's the guy that used to work for Adidas.
Oh, wicked.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I saw something, but I didn't know much about him, to be honest. So that's great to hear if that's the case.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Before we move on, I think we're pressing on time. Round the table, who do you think you're going to win the league?
The footballing part of me wants
to say... I don't want to say it, man. I don't want to say it.
The footballing part of me wants to say Arsenal because of the way they play, but the person that has to sit on Twitter most of the day says Man City because I do not want to listen to Arsenal fans. At least it takes me about an hour to find a Manchester City fan, even if I go to the Etihad. So, just that's the reason. It's a hard choice.
Bryant?
Arsenal, look at me. You listen to me.
Wait. I gotta zoom in.
You better win the league, Arsenal. All right? Because if you don't win the league, That means City wins 3 in a row, and the only team that wins 3 in a row are Manchester United. You better stop them. We're relying on you for this one thing. You better get it right. You better win the league. You're not going to win it again, so you better win it now when you got the chance. Arsenal are going to win the league.
Where City will get relegated anyway. It's fine.
That's a perfect YouTube clip short. Thank you. I clipped that. Okay, Kojo. London
man.
or
Say
Manchester?
it, Kojo. Just say
I'm
it.
just gonna say Arsenal, man.
Go with
You
it.
know,
Call us
it's,
British.
I've grown up with Arsenal fans around my whole life. My brother, my cousins. Even when I lived in Spain, I went to some random city that no one had ever heard of for as far as I knew in this country. And then I get off the bus, and first couple of shirts I see a flipping Arsenal shirt there. They're everywhere. It's annoying. But legacies have to be continued, and Arsenal have won the title before. That doesn't bother me. So, you know what? Sats Ferguson's the only one to do 3-peats in the Premier League, and Zidane's the only one to do. Well, no, he's not the only one. But if you talk about Champions League format, he's the only one to do 3-peats in the Champions League. Pep Guardiola does not deserve to be in that class. I'm just saying that because F him. So, yeah, go on Arsenal, win the league, and then do what you usually do and disappear again.
Borrowed time. Yeah, we do like Liverpool did. You know, win the league once and disappear.
Beautiful.
That's the greatest team ever you're talking about, remember? Don't diss them. Greatest Premier League team ever. Wins one league in 30
absolutely.
years.
Greatest team.
While you're talking, what are you saying?
Liverpool. They always claimed they were the greatest team ever. Win one league and then disappear into the ether.
It's ridiculous.
Van Dijk is as good as John Terry and Rio Ferdinand. They got turned inside out the other night.
He's just he just lost it, hasn't he? It's just like he's hit the wall and said, "That's it. I'm just not the player I once was."
Pressing on, Paul. Give us your take. Who's going to win the league?
I think it will be Arsenal. I just the City team. It looks good on days, but there's always a day where they'll be bad. Like you can see mistakes in the team that you've not been able to see before when they usually, like everybody's mentioned this season, they're waiting for City to go on that 10, 12, 15 game winning run where they've been absolutely excellent and no team gets near them, but they always seem to have that one mistake. And as we all know, once you get a young, hungry team fighting for the first league title, they can do miracles for you. You know, they can push themselves that extra level, you know, stay on the pitch that extra 10 minutes longer. You know, we've seen it before. We were the masters of it back in the early years of the Premier League. So Arsenal can do it, but, you know, the City have got a robot up front. It's a hard one, but I think it'll be Arsenal.
They got a monster up front. Phil?
My heart would say Arsenal because I don't want to see City get the 3. But when you look at the fixtures for Arsenal, I just think City's got it because they've got Leeds at home this week, but then after that they've got Liverpool away, they've got West Ham away, they've got Southampton at home, so they should win that one. They've got City away, then they've got Chelsea at home, then they've got Newcastle away, then they've got Brighton at home, and then they finish with Forest and Wolves. And I think by the time they get to Forest, they'll be out of the league. They'll be out the first position. I think there's too many potential points dropped. I hope I'm wrong, but I just cannot see them overcoming City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Brighton without dropping many points. And I think with City being so close behind them in the league, I just think, sadly, it is going to be City who's going to come back with that resurgence. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Realist TV.
Botswana Papi, knock knock.
So, who's there?
Who's going to show up to the office? City or Arsenal?
So here's the thing. I'm sort of riffing off of what Phil was saying, and I think in terms of the tests that the two teams have, Arsenal have more hurdles to overcome, and City have fewer hurdles. Now, that being said, one of the hurdles that Arsenal has to overcome is obviously City, and the one of the hurdles that City has. So consequently, City still ultimately have lesser hurdles, and the question is, will Arsenal be able, if they drop more than 6 points from all those, from the Liverpool fixture, from the Chelsea fixture, from the Newcastle fixture, and the Man City fixture. So those 4 tests, they have to pass more than 2 of those with flying colors. So will that happen? It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I think that the main thing for sure is that the title, it feels like the title is going to be decided on the 26th. The Premier League has a final, which is amazing.
I have Bryant left. Bryant, I have a question for you. Can I shoot? Right? We know football is all about gravity. Like, it's all about energy. What goes up must goes down. Ball can go in the net. You can have injuries, left, right, center. A lot of things can happen in football, right? I personally don't want to see City win. I don't personally want to see Arsenal win either, but somebody's going to win it. But knowing that this is football, is it possible that both those teams can slip up and have a brain fart? Nope.
No. Arsenal
Nope.
team is better than people give them.
Sorry, is your mic playing up?
You're not,
Yeah,
hear
it's flickering, I think.
Yeah, it's that AirPod problem that I always do when I'm on Twitter Spaces and everybody shouts on me.
Yes.
Better. Is it? Okay. He said no. I'm just
That's
curious.
why that was the gods cutting him off. It is possible.
It is possible.
It's mathematically possible, but in reality, it's probably not. Let's be honest.
Here, let's just say Arsenal slip up, Manchester City win the league, and then they get a 10-point deduction for being cheats, and then we lift the title.
Say that.
Some key injuries have to happen in the next couple of weeks. Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland have to get injured. Thomas Partey, Martinez, Saka has to get injured. If those 4 players that I mentioned, like a few of them get injured, I think we stand.
Or as I said to my mate as well, is all you need is Pep to get kicked out of the Champions League again in the next round, and he will crack his baldy head. And I can say that because I'm bald, but he will crack the bat. He will go mental, because I think, like, let's all be honest here. We're all looking at the writing on the wall. City could be no longer a problem after this season. There's massive repercussions coming their way that we could do a podcast another day to go in, that I've done a lot of research on, and they are in big trouble when you look at the charges they're under. It's nothing to do with the financial doping. It's all to do with them trying to hide the financial doping and challenging the Premier League to get the information. And a lot of people have missed that one.
Okay,
Nice.
Bryant is back. Bryant is back. Please, sir, continue. Was it the hand of God that told you to? Mathematical possible, not possible? What do you say?
Is it mathematically possible for both teams to slip?
Yeah, and is it mathematical possible if Manchester United come back and go on a winning run, don't lose anything, just win all the games? Just play with the thought, like fantasy football.
Yep. So that's not going to happen. Man United are not going to win the league. Sorry, you can't win a Premier League if you can ship 6 and 7 goals in the season. You can't. Like, you just can't. So
you can't, or you can. No, you can't. You can't.
I'm sorry, Mick. Do you want me to answer your question or not? I'll wait for you.
Yes, please.
You let me know.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. No. I think Arsenal are going to win it. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're the best side in the Premier League. I do, and I don't have an issue with Arsenal winning. I don't care. Man United aren't going to win it. I don't care, but I don't want City to win 3 in a row. So
yeah, I'd rather Arsenal win it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
don't care. Like if Man United aren't going to win it at the end of the day, I don't care. But if I had to choose somebody, if I was asked who would you rather win it, it would be Arsenal. So yeah, it's that simple for me.
Brian,
I've got a question. Who do you think to anybody who wants to answer this? Who do you think will finish fourth?
Brighton.
Can I
One
look
word-
at the
one word
table
answer.
first? I need to look at the table first.
Well, then.
I'm
Brighton's
saying
a good
Brighton
shout
will-
because you absolutely, Kojo. I think you said this in a previous show, didn't you? About they're a bit of a dark horse. They've got games in hand, and they've got a bit of a good run as well, haven't they? So Brighton's played 25 games. They're on 42 points. Liverpool played 26 on 42 points. So Brighton win that game in hand. They go above Liverpool into 6th. Behind Newcastle.
Game in hand is versus City, by the way.
Just remember
Yep,
that one
they'll
of
beat 'em.
Brighton's games in hand is against us.
We'll beat them and then they'll beat City. I'm confident saying that. I'm very confident saying that.
Love
All right, Kojo.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, gents. I don't know what happened to Bryant. I think he disappeared.
that.
Anyway,
Yeah,
he's gone. He's gone.
He said United can't win the league and he got kicked out.
Listen, we're coming kind of a little bit. We've been running out of time a little, but we haven't spoken football for a long time. So what we should do here is to honor the work that I did today, and yeah, let's have a look at the beautiful goals this season, and let's all have a vote on it. Viewers, if you're still there, I know Ireland is playing. I know you're watching Mbappe. We might get Mbappe in the summer. It's the wet dream of everyone, probably. That's why you're watching Mbappe. But let's reflect on the best goals, according to my opinion, this season. If I miss something, you could send a complaint to customer support after. Okay. So let's have a look at the goal of the season. All right, so the way it works is that I'm going to play a video clip. So bear in mind, keep this. I will come back to this one because these are the 11 goals that I picked. I call them 10, but for now it is one bonus goal, and I'll tell you why. Right? So let's go, people. Let's go and do this.
Good advantage played by Courtney. Could lead to Anthony on his debut. Manchester United into the lead. He's got a new badge to kiss here.
Let's go, number one. This Anthony.
Universal acclaim from the Casemiro says you can throw it down the line backwards. We want to do that. Ericsson got involved. Marcus Rashford with a flying header. The aerial prowess of this Manchester United. Martinez. Relentless Reds at the moment. It comes for Jadon Sancho. Still Sancho. Come as you like. Come with ice in his veins. It's no more than Manchester United deserve. And Liverpool are 1-0 down again. Ericsson. Fernandes for Rashford. Right through the middle of Arsenal. Go Manchester United. Rashford scores the lead. Provides straws and dramas. They pulled it out of the fire. Anthony Fernandes, not quite, but it is Fred, and now Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes gloriously doubles Manchester United's lead.
Didn't get anything right.
Served by Grealish, by Anthony, who scores a wonderful goal.
Well,
4-1. scored on his debut against Arsenal. He scored on his derby debut here. Restored a little bit of...
Winning that header. Ronaldo can pick this up. Garnacho's made a run for him and has been found. Garnacho's in here. He's got the speed and he's got the finishing power too. What a moment for the youngster. Alejandro Garnacho for Manchester United gets his first goal for the club when it really matters.
Eriksen set it back and Marcus Rashford latched on with the most sumptuous finish.
Manchester United 2-1 up.
Downhill, dispossessed, and here's Rashford. And Rashford flying forward here, and he's got support as well. Rashford might go alone. That is an excellent goal from Marcus Rashford to double Manchester United's advantage. All his own work.
Away from Raphael Varane. By Martial and Rashford played in against Alisson here. Marcus Rashford scores. No flag. 2-0. The classic counter-attack. Rashford built his reputation on it. They've pulled it out of the fire.
That's about it, people. Flashback. What's your feeling?
Who do you want to start with?
We have all the goals up here. All the goals.
My favourite's not there, man.
I know.
I knew you were going to say that. It's the Barcelona one, isn't it?
Oh, that one where it's the Barcelona one where he just cuts in and beats the keeper at his knee or post. How could you miss that one of beauty? It just killed it.
Try to make all the graphics, all the content, all the editing, motion design. I'm just me. I wish I can be like 3, 8, 10 minimes, but I just did to my best ability. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I cannot add it on.
From the ones you have, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
I'm going to say the one goal that I think is the best goal is because it's the goal that kickstarted the belief in the United this season was Jadon Sancho's goal against Liverpool. The fact that everybody could see that goal was going to go in, and then the confidence that brought that team after that goal to get the second and then just roll on from there. I don't think people understood. If he hadn't scored from that chance, I don't think we win that game. I honestly don't think I think the belief seeps from us, and that game is what gave us to go, look, we didn't lose for 12, 13 games after the Liverpool match? Up until we played City? It was something like that, 12 in a row. So I say that one kickstarted our season, to be honest.
Who's next?
I'll go. Yeah, I completely agree.
Because you like Sancho so much.
my Sancho support. Stick with my guy I like. But yeah, absolutely. I think echo exactly what Paul just said. Without that goal off the back of the Brentford loss at the beginning of the season, and Brighton as well. We got such a rocky start. New manager. Everyone's like writing on the wall straight away for him. Sancho had his critics already. This is before he left, and to stand up and to lay Milner on the floor the way he did, leave him laying down like he was on a sunbed, and just took it into the back of the net with the composure that he showed, and the belief that threw into Old Trafford. And the roar it created, which allowed Rashford to go on to get his goal. Yes, it was 2-1 and Salah got his goal at the end, but the game was won. And the run that we went on off the back of that, the belief that gave us. And suddenly everyone kind of went, oh, actually, United might have something about them this season. And we really started to show it from there. We really started to run on from there. And not just the timing of it, but the actual composure within the game, within the goal as well. And I just love the class of the goal, not just because it's Sancho, but just the way it was taken. We've seen so many Rashford goals this season. He could have a top 10 of his own. And Anthony, getting his first one on his debut, again, another critical goal in a critical moment. But I think for me, I'm just going to have to stick with the Sancho one.
All right. Fair play. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go.
All right. Kojo?
To be fair, I'll be a bit different because the Sancho one was quality. He put 3 players on the floor, including the goalkeeper, by the way. Excellent composure. Anthony versus City, I think is. I know it's easy to go for the long range shots, but in that game, when your team is getting absolutely hammered, it takes a lot for you to still have the confidence to go forward and produce such an effort of such quality. And you're talking about scoring in a big game. You've made some sort of impact there, so it showed some mentality and it's also some quality that he has the ability to cut inside and score those goals. So I'll give him a shout. If I can quickly just give my goal that's not there, Luke Shaw versus Bournemouth. The guy ran the left of the pitch by himself, found Bruno on the other side, then tucked it in with his weaker foot. Hey, a guy doesn't score many goals, man. So I had to give him that one. That was a beauty. It was a true beauty.
Yeah, it was.
It's Bournemouth, but hey, Luke Shaw don't score, man. It's like, I don't know. Who can I compare it to? It's like 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒌 scoring a goal. So yeah.
Good shout, that Kojo.
yeah, so Luke Shaw for me. But out of that list, I'll give it to Anthony.
Bryant?
Man. So I guess for me, the goal that's, as far as the ones that are on the list, the goal that gave me the most, I celebrated the most, was the Casemiro goal against Chelsea. So because for me, like, goals of the season, it has to be a combination of the goal and the moment in which it was scored, right? And for me, it was one of those moments where the Chelsea game, Manchester United were the far better side in the first half. And then Chelsea made some adjustments in the second half and started to grow back into the game. And then just Manchester United have like a bozo gene moment. Scott McTominay gives away a penalty. And then Chelsea go up. And we were thinking we're going to go from dominating this game, looking the best, and then at least not losing it, to then losing the game. And then out of nowhere, Casemiro shows everybody just how good in the air he is on set pieces, which we've seen many, many times since then over the course of the rest of the season. But I'm pretty sure that was Casemiro's first goal for the club. And the celebration at the end of it, like what it meant to not lose that game, was incredible. It was a huge moment. It was a huge moment for me. I thought that United were going to lose the game, and then in the goal went. So big one for me. That would be my choice.
Yeah, you know what, Brian? Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would have won that game if it wasn't for certain people that, you know what? No names. It's a great goal. No names.
Yeah, but also there was that goal with Casemiro with a legendary celebration. It's still clinched in my mind. And it was on the dying minutes. It was in 94th minute. We were 1-0 down, and his header and that celebration, it was epic celebration. And that's why I had in the clip, like, epic celebration. Also, Anthony's first goal against Arsenal, the way he was celebrating, going like this to the badge, just like this kind of moments that kind of like a Polaroid picture in my mind, right? But there's so many good goals, Paul, what are you saying? What's your pick here?
I was going to say with that Casemiro thing, remember, people said he just came here for money. I think anybody can see that man. I think that man is enjoying football more than he ever has in his life, because for the very first time, it's not everybody, it's not Tony Cruz and I've totally forgotten his other name, Modric, that people are talking about. People are seeing what Casemiro actually brings to a team. And he's getting the respect from day one in this team. He's not just the guy that sits in front of your back four. He can be a guy that gets you an equalizer, gets you a winner, and can push a team. I couldn't believe it. Like 60 million. People said overpriced. A steal. A steal. Do you know he costs less? I didn't realize this with add-ons. Do you know Casemiro actually costs us less money than Naby Keita did for Liverpool because they won the Champions League and the add-ons and all kicked in? Less money than Keita.
So that's your pick then.
Good start. That I like that.
Oh, my pick is still the Jadon Sancho goal, but I just wanted to say that wee piece in Casemiro. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Who's yours, mate?
Papi. No, I go with Botswana, Papi. Aubrey, rip it away. You're on mute.
I think Bryant touched on this in such a very poignant way by saying like it's sort of like the culmination of what the significance of the goal is. How do you judge goal of the season, right? Is the significance of the goal and also the brilliance of the goal and also what constitutes the brilliance of the goal for you. So it's like a couple of these things that I'm all thinking about at the same time, being like, damn, this is really, really difficult. But from the list that you provided, I don't know which goal it was when okay, so I love the individual brilliance that Rashford shows when he cuts through everybody and then takes the
Burnley.
Burnley, it must have been
the solo goal.
That's I love because it feels like it's a moment of transition for Rashford where he's like, oh, I'm actually really, really, really in my zone. But I also feel like the real goal though is the very first time when Rashford did this season was when he transitioned into the next level and he figured that out. Like, oh, I'm actually really, really embracing the confidence. I'm not just lucky. I'm not just completing, a sequence, an attacking sequence in a very, very, well-coached team. I'm actually also contributing myself, taking the game by the scruff of the neck and also using my individual brilliance to add on to the momentum of the team. So it's one of those things where I feel like when we're calling on individual brilliance, it's the one versus Burnley. But when we're calling on, I have to agree with what everybody said about that one. The Sancho goal versus Liverpool, the significance of it cannot be understated. It was a very, very big moment. So yeah, I'll go with Burnley out of the list.
So then it's only me left then, right? Or so I'm surprised because there's so many. I mean, obviously there's so many Rashford goals in here. Like, Rashford is the leading goal scorer in United at the moment, 27 goals in all competition. From a beauty of a goal, I will go with Burnley when he takes the ball from his own half and just does a Leo Messi, like, passes everyone and just put it in. That was a beautiful goal. But
Mick, when was the last time we saw any Man United player ever do that? Where just dribble past? I think he went through 4 people, if I counted correctly, and score. Individual brilliance, and just going in and putting the ball in the back of the net. When was the last Man United player to do that? Maybe. Do you remember?
Ryan Giggs v Arsenal.
There we go. It's like very, very few moments where we have individual. So,
but of course,
against Liverpool in his debut.
Yeah, of course, maybe. I'm just going to be quick and easy here. Like, I agree with Jadon Sancho. That was a beautiful moment. But I would also go with the underdog in certain ways. That in the moment when it matters, I would say that actually Garnacho's goal against Real Sociedad, because he put us through. Right, that was a very crucial goal in the dying minute as well. And for a young kid to come in and 18 years of age to give us the decisive moment to even go through to the where we are going now, semifinals is a quarterfinals in the Europa League. I mean, that was a pearler as well, according to my opinion. But I am going by, but my favorite moment is absolutely the Casemiro goal and his celebration, right? Because that was also significance where we were 1-0 down. We were playing at Stamford Bridge. I agree, we were better half in the team, and the clock was dying. 94th minute, boom, Casemiro on the head, and that was kind of kicked off his goal scoring with Manchester United. That celebration I will never forget. So hard. God, I cannot pick. Can somebody pick for me?
Nick, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me for this one, right? Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Right.
I don't think that's Garnacho's best goal this season.
It's not. You're right.
It's not.
The Fulham one. The Fulham
Yeah,
one.
Fulham. Because
Fulham.
I remember watching that and just thinking, I had a big flashback to when Ronaldo did it to them in, I think, 2007 or something like that.
Almost from the same position.
Yeah, just ran past everybody and then the finish and the burst of pace as well to catch the ball and finish it. I was like,
True. Good.
and you got all of you are talking about moments. He won the game. Game, set, match, done. 90th minute. You're gonna hate me. It's a beautiful video compilation. Love you for it.
Did they not do the Messi celebration after that one as well?
I can't remember. I'm not sure.
Oh, no,
Go ahead.
Ronaldo. He did the Ronaldo. That was it. He did the Ronaldo one.
It was a really Garnacho's goal was actually a really cool moment because I'm pretty sure it was his first start for Manchester United. And
I think so.
It was.
United needed to beat. It was actually we didn't score enough goals against Sociedad, which is why we drew Barcelona in the knockout, like to get into the knockout stage of the Europa League. But Garnacho, that was his first start, and he's running like full. He's at the top of his speed, and he takes 2 touches to set himself, and then on his weaker foot he puts it he puts it top shelf. It was an incredible finish. Like for me, it was one of those moments where I was like, ooh, like Garnacho's legit. Like if he can do stuff like that over the course of the rest of the season, he's going to be a huge asset to the club. And goal, so that like it helps when he scores goals like he does against Fulham, which actually won us the 3 points that we needed in the Premier League later on in the campaign as well. Like, so, but because I remember the Garnacho goal, that was one of Ronaldo's like last games because Garnacho went up to Ronaldo. He went up to Ronaldo and said, "Can I use your celebration?" And Ronaldo gave him permission to use the celebration, and that's when he puts his hands on his chest and stuff like that. He asked Ronaldo for permission to celebrate that way for his first goal for the club. It was a really cool, like, looking up to an idol moment. Even if Ronaldo bend us off to Piers Morgan and blah, 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 whatever, like, it was still a cool moment.
It was momentous, wasn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. We're going to VR room. Phil, you've been acting the VR. What's the collective score? I still go with Casemiro versus Chelsea, that goal celebration, because that meant a lot, going to Stamford Bridge, 1-0 down, and we got a point. But I agree with you with the Garnacho's goals. I don't know. I have to pick Casemiro.
Okay, but I think when you add it all up, what everyone kind of said, I think not just because of what the top I'm wearing, but I think generally everyone seemed to think that Sancho was the defining moment in the season that absolutely mattered for us. Absolutely, I think we can all agree that those goals that we looked at, they're all really great goals and they've had great moments. Absolutely, that Casemiro, I remember running around screaming. You've probably seen the video on social media somewhere of me just spinning around, screaming. Casemiro, that was it. Like, it was absolutely defining moment, and it was like, as has already been said, it wasn't the fact that he's just come to shore up the defence or come for the money. He was there, and the passion he showed on that. Not quite as good as 𝒂𝒄𝒌's passion when he scored his goal, by the way. Let's not forget that guy. But for the goal of the season, I think I don't know if everybody had to just pick one for a defining moment that's goal of the season so far. One word, what would you say? Just go around the table now quickly. So we'll start with you, Mick. One name.
Casemiro.
Okay, Kojo.
Sorry, what am I doing?
So just we've discussed them all a lot, the actual goals. So we're just trying to summarize it quickly. So you can choose one name, one goal.
Oh, Anthony C.
Okay, there we go.
That's a good
Bryant.
one.
Yeah, Casemiro's goal for me, huge.
Okay, Paul.
I'll go with Casemiro. After hearing and seeing the video again, the passion.
Over to you, Powerhour. Down to you.
I'll go with Rashford.
Casemiro wins. That's it. Casemiro gets goal of the season so far from the defining moment, the moment that the passion, the what it meant to the team at the time. And
second place goes to Can you show us a t-shirt? Second place, runner-up goes to. Show the t-shirt. Yeah, there we go.
Sancho. Yeah. But to be fair, it was joined with. He only got one vote, which was mine in the end, and also Anthony and Rashford and Garnacho. They all got very honourable mentions.
So
yeah,
brilliant. Thank you, panel. Viewers, let us know in the comments below. If you watch this video later, drop us a comment. Let us know who you think is, out of all these goals, which is your goal, right? Guys, we're gonna quickly we've gone over time, but listen, we got to look at one roadmap ahead. All right, so basically this is going to be a short one, right? We all know where we've been, we all know where we're going. Ten Hag's season to a treble, it is possible, guys. So looking at the first coming up, it's the quarterfinals. It's been played 13th of April, right? We are playing Seville, right? And Seville currently, from my understanding, is about to get relegated. They're in really, really good trouble. Guys, do you? I mean, are we tired of having paella and cerveza, or are we looking forward to going down to Seville again and celebrate another?
I think it's nice that we could win 2 cups this year, because we could win the Europa League and we can win the Spanish Copa del Rey, because we're basically competing in both competitions anyway. So, we've already knocked out Barcelona, so we might as well win that too.
Yeah. Papi? You're on mute.
I feel like we're definitely in a very good position to beat Sevilla. Like, we have the momentum. We already know that Ten Hag has undone the Spanish team curse of struggling versus Spanish team. So I'm very confident, feeling very hopeful and optimistic that we're definitely going to get a result over 2 legs for sure.
Thank you. Who wants to go next? Bryant.
I'm so tired of playing Spanish teams.
Me too.
I really am. I'm so tired of playing Spanish teams. Sevilla's a hard one for me because Manchester United have never beaten them. So that's a big deal. They've never won in head-to-head competition against Sevilla. So I'm interested to see what. With that being said, I think that this United team are more than good enough to win and move on in the competition. So no time like the present to get your first wins against Sevilla.
Kojo.
Oh.
You fancy some paella and some cerveza? Por favor.
I was expecting my face to just pop up on the screen like that.
You lived in Spain, right? So tell me.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, well, we can deal with them. They're in the relegation battle, similar to how it is in the Premier League. Teams between 13th and 19th, there's 5 points. Just like over here, there's a gap of 5 points between, I think, 12th and 20th. So, hey, man, it's interesting, but they've sucked in the league. But everyone knows when it comes to Europa League, that's their thing. Sevilla, Europa League is like Real Madrid Champions League. They just love to go and win it. But we have every reason to be confident in this game. So go out there, smack them, and then don't even send them for paella. If they lose, they don't deserve that. Just let them get a regular cod.
Whoa, Phil. Is there we are living in a yellow submarine? Hey, or will they sink?
We need to get one over on Sevilla. They've had us in the past, and it's time to come back. We've got Ten Hag. They've not played us with Ten Hag ball. We've got the players. We know that we can win. We can win in Spain. We've proved that already this season by beating Barcelona, and what a scout that was. So absolutely, we can go on and beat them. And it'd be lovely to see Sporting take out Juventus as well on the way. That'd be fantastic. And then Bruno gets to play against Sporting in the next round. That'd be a nice little run-in. I'd love to see that.
100%. Who is left? Paul? Was it? Is it Paul?
Yeah.
No, I said my piece.
Did
we'll
you?
beat them. I said we'll win the Copa del Rey.
All right, so everyone had to say regarding the Europa League, we will comfortably. I mean, who do you think we're going to meet in the finals then? Oh, in the semis, Juventus.
Yeah. Oh,
I want Sporting.
I want Sporting.
Yeah. Sporting is. Oof.
If we meet Juventus, I'll be more confident in beating Juventus than Sporting.
Me too.
Is anyone concerned that there's a little bit of? Say again.
I said Turin's not an easy place to go to.
No, absolutely.
I know
not.
we've beat them in the past, but it's still not an easy place to go to.
I just have this fear that we're going to meet Mourinho in the final.
I know. If there's a man who knows how to win finals, it's Mourinho. So we have to be careful with that one.
I mean, if you look at the left side and the right side, our side is the more difficult one, right? Of course, yeah. I want to meet Roma. But who do I fear most? What I saw like Sporting do to Arsenal, I thought, damn, they look pretty good, right?
I think Sporting did look good, but I think Arsenal were very unlucky to lose that. When you look back at the game, the chances that they had, they should have won it, and they know they should have won it. It was funny that they didn't, but they should have won it. So I think Juventus on the day, I think it, I don't think it's over yet. I still believe we can win it after seeing us beat Barcelona. We can beat anybody. That's my answer.
Okay, guys, prediction. Are we going to win Europa League?
Yeah.
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 Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
We'll make it to the final for sure.
For sure.
If we're in the final, we'll win it.
And no more De Gea 12th penalty. No.
Yeah, Arsenal could have done with it De Gea in their last game. At least he would have stayed on his line.
Okay. All right, moving on. Next competition. Next in line is the semi-finals in the FA Cup. It's coming up 22nd of April at Wembley. We are playing. This is a tough one, Brighton. Not to be underestimated. But in a way, I see this being kind of laid out for a Manchester derby final. Or maybe...
I think City will go out in the semis.
You think?
I think it's we're due an upset in this FA Cup, and I think City has upset written all over them. All over them. You look at some of the games that City have lost against Nottingham Forest. They lost against them. They've lost against some of the bottom teams. Them teams that sit back and don't let City to get in behind because of the way City play at the moment. City find it very, very difficult, and it's not home. It's not away. It's at Wembley. I remember I called it back in the day when I said Wigan would beat City in the final, and nobody believed me. And the little ginger boy scored a header in like the 87th minute or something like that.
I was there for that game.
Yeah. I just think City have struggled against smaller teams and
at Wembley,
teams that defend deeply against them. And plus, what's Pep going to do in that FA Cup game? Does he think, do I rest some players because I'm going to have Champions League coming up and going in for the Premier League as well? Does he tinker a wee bit like he usually does? I don't know. I could see an upset coming.
How about Brighton United?
That'll be a tough game.
Yeah. Phil.
When is it played? Sorry.
End of the month.
22nd.
22nd.
Yeah. I think we owe Brighton one off the way this season started, and I think that will give us the strength to get over the line. But I don't think it'll be an easy game because they are on a good run of form again. They have shown that they're a good team, not just under the previous manager of Potter, who's not succeeding at Chelsea at the moment. But I think they've got a good team. They've got some good players. I can't think of the guy from Argentina who was obviously won the World Cup. He's been fantastic, and then obviously this Ferguson who everyone's linking to United as well. They've got some good players and they're playing well this season. So I don't think it'll be an easy game, but I do think we'll get over the line.
Kojo.
I'm not sure what to say about this game because. Like I said earlier on, we owe them a receipt. They came and scored us at Old Trafford. Man. That's against the rules of the Old Trafford. You have to come there and get spanked and slapped around the place. And they did the opposite. They came and did it to us. So we owe them a receipt. And the least we owe them is getting knocked out of the cup and not going to the final. But they're going to be up for it. But I always back my boys to win. So I think we'll go through. But it's looking like a 2-1 kind of game. We're gonna have to try and marshal them because they're a good team, man.
Marshall, then we bring in Marshall.
No. I can't lie to you, man. I don't want to see him again.
No, but barring we already played in the finals in the Wembley, we had that experience. Yeah. No, I see us going through 2-1 as well. But we're gonna do the score prediction when we get there, right, guys? Absolutely. Who did I forget? It's Bryant left, right?
Yeah. Let me and me as well. I was gonna say, riffing off of what Kojo said, is I feel like Brighton are actually, they're not just a good team, they're a very, very good team. They just almost just fall in that bracket that's just sort of below excellent. They're just below excellent. And if you look at what they've done this season, they beat Chelsea 4-1. They beat Mikel Arteta's Arsenal 3-1 in the Carabao Cup. Fine. They beat Liverpool 3-0. And this is a team that's not, they find a way to get, even Man City in the league, they lost 3-1. Like, they managed to get a goal in. So it's the way De Zerbi sets up the team and the belief that they have in the system is just incredible. A lot of people were sort of just discrediting him, saying, "Oh, he's just riffing off of what Potter had built." But this man he's a real coach. And if there's an upset written, I don't want to be the party pooper, but if at all we don't win a treble and it's a double, this might be the upset.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Have to be realistic.
I bet Graham Potter regrets that he left Brighton. All right. So anyway, who is left? Is it Brian? Brian, have I covered you? No.
Oh no, I haven't said anything yet.
So you're the last one, last man standing.
I'll be honest. Brighton are a good side. I'm not scared of them. So, I would have preferred to, draw a lesser side like the Sheffield United, but it is what it is. The draw is the draw, but I mean, United should be beating Brighton. So, Brighton are good.
Any given Sunday,
we should win. We should win that game.
Right. In conclusion, finals. You think it's going to be a City United final, or do you think it's going to be a City Sheffield final? We got to be Patriot Reds here, so we just assume we're getting to the finals.
I'll go for Sheffield United just for the comedy factor of it all. Just has to be. Just to watch Pep cry is all I want to see. He's going to fail this season in winning anything, and then his whole legacy is going to be tarnished once the Premier League come down on him like a ton of bricks as well. Every title he's going to have is going to have that little asterisk beside his names, and below it will say cheaters.
Do you think City's going to win the Champions League this year with Holland?
I'm going for Napoli. I think Napoli look fantastic.
Yeah, they're playing well, aren't they?
They play like a Premier League team in this area. That's what they play like. And I would love to see Napoli win it. I think some of their talent's unreal.
All right,
Everybody talks about Osman, but it's that wee Georgian guy for me.
All right, quickly wrapping up, guys. Quickly, your prediction. What do you think? Finals, who's going to be? United versus who?
City.
City, cheating City. All right, we're going to talk about that. Imagine if they get stripped all of the titles. What was it? 120 counts, wasn't it? Oh,
yeah. 120 counts. 30 of them they're due with financial fair play, but 50 of them are to do with trying to obstruct the FA's investigation and hide finances, which are the more serious crimes. Believe it or not, they're the ones that carry the most punishment.
All right, gentlemen. We're coming to the end of the show. We're all exhausted. How is Ireland doing? Big shout out to Jay. Daly was supposed to be here. He called me up and say he forgot it was Ireland playing today. And obviously his son wanted him to watch together. It's the father and son moment. How anyone knows the score right now? Ireland, France.
1-0
1-0
France.
down.
Yeah.
1-0, not
scored.
bad. Ooh. Oh, so not bad. People predicting they're getting shredded. All right. Jay is shredded, by the way. He's Mr. Champion. All right, guys, let's go. We will see Jay next time as well. So obviously we're playing the Newcastle is in on Sunday, so we're probably going to do a watch along. No, watch along. I hate doing watch alongs. Like I'm too PTSD. I cannot do that. I need to watch the game like that. We're going to do a preview, I think. But we're coming to the end of the stream. So what I want to do here is, obviously we looked at all the goals. I want to also discuss of who is the player so far of the season, I think. Let's do this. All right, so I done this, right? I don't know how I'm going to split this up. I picked a few players that I think is worthy, but I know who's going to win. So anyway, De Gea for me has been amazing. I mean, I think he's got a lot of stick, but the amount of goals, the acrobatic moves and goals he stopped is in the mix for me. Obviously, for me, it's Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, Casemiro, and Marcus Rashford are my contenders. Christian Eriksen was doing fine until he got that ankle injury. But guys, who do you see here in this nomination should be contender for the Player of the Year?
Bruno. I say Bruno Fernandes, because if you look at that, you look what you've got up there. Bruno has played in Eriksen's position. Bruno has played in Anthony's position. Bruno has played in Garnacho's position. Bruno has played the most games, the most minutes. He's ran that pitch. He's led that team. You could say Casemiro, yes, but we don't have another DM. He's made the most impact. But Bruno Fernandes is the essence of what you want in a player, which is availability and commitment. You put him on the right. Yes, he may not do well, but he'll give a hunt. You put him on the left, he'll give a hunt. I just think for a player that just... The only other player I've seen do what Bruno does, and he did it on a better level, I like to add, is Wayne Rooney. You ask him where, you tell him where you want him to play that day, and he'll give all his. He'll just play. He won't bitch or moan that he's being played out of position. He's, that's why I think it's Bruno, in my opinion.
Bruno. Bryant, quickly, your nomination for the Player of the Year?
Casemiro. For me, it's Casemiro for what he's done to the team. I think United have had serious defensive issues prior to Casemiro signing, and we've had some rough games this season, even when he's been in the team. But on the whole of the season, Casemiro has been such a linchpin in the team, and he's just aided the team in so many ways. So we're so much better with him in the side. So a signing of the season for me, in addition to being Manchester United's Player of the Season, but he won't get it because he doesn't score goals like Rashford.
That's it. It always goes to the goal scorer, even the Ballon d'Or. Who wants to go next? Papi.
Sure, I'll go next. I think because, let's put the goal scoring aside. Marcus Rashford, let's look at where he was about 6-7 months, ago. We saw a player who was void of confidence, and he made an amazing turnaround, not just for himself, and it's gone on to the team. I talked earlier on about transitioning to like next level, when you're like, oh, I'm not just the star, I'm a superstar of the team. I'm the one that they are counting on. And he's somebody that has gone on to sort of set a standard and continuously reach it and be like, oh, surprising everybody. So the phenomenal level that he has achieved at this moment is just making me feel like he is the heart. The team is like a body, and a body is made up of different organs and different parts and different components. So obviously you take out the spine, it's different. You take out the heart, it's different, and somebody else. So Marcus Rashford for me is almost like the heartbeat of the attack. you know, and maybe or Casemiro would be the backbone of the body. So it all just depends on, I feel like, how you which body part you're like mostly feeling like is the most vital, and say Malacia is like the elbow. You know.
All right, we got a lesson of anatomy. So for you, definitely, it's a Rashford thing, yeah.
It's Rashford.
Kojo, bring it up.
I'll go Casemiro. I love Rashford, and I'm very happy that he's got his form back. He's got his goals in, his confidence, and everything. But it's not even a but. It's just Casemiro. When this team, when he's not playing, this team doesn't function. And hell, when he got that yellow card away at Crystal Palace, everyone was scared, and that just tells you everything about the guy, because you don't want to miss his influence. And that's not me saying, oh, you know, when he's not there, A and B has to play, and they're not of the level. Forget about that. It's just the guy just stands out for just how good he is above everybody. And it's not about just the Man United team. It's in this league. It's gone from being the best DM in the league to probably being the best midfielder in the league. And it's those conversations that keep evolving, because the guy is showing what he's always been about. And you know, I have a thing for unsung heroes who finally get their credit. Your Busquets, even I'll go as far as say Michael Carrick as well, because Carrick didn't get enough credit at Man United for how brilliant he was throughout his whole run at United. Casemiro is standing out so much that he's no longer the unsung hero that he was at Real Madrid. He's the man. He is the man, and he wasn't getting compared to Partey and those guys. They were being compared to him because it was like, oh, you signed this guy, and you know he came from Real Madrid. He was supposed to be the best, but because we're top of the league with this boy, that doesn't mean a damn thing. He sets the standard, and that's why you're always talking about him. So, yeah, man, all day, every day for me, Casemiro.
El Casemiro. That's a good one, actually. Who's next? I totally agree with you, what you're saying, basically. I keep losing count. Who did I forget? Phil.
Yes, mate. So I agree with what everyone said so far. I think ultimately Rashford may end up taking the plaudits. When you see man of the match results on social media, which is ultimately where the votes go at the end of the season, Rashford's won a lot more of that based on the goals he scored. His turn of form has been fantastic. But in the words of Roy Keane, he's doing what he should be doing. He's scoring goals. At the end of the day, he is. You know, he just found his form again. So is it like, do you reward someone for finding your form again? You know, a lot of people, let's be honest, we all know that he was distracted off the pitch last season, and Ten Hag's dealt with that in the most professional way, as he has done with everything else. He's quietly nipped it in the bud and allowed him to focus on his football and reminded him what he's great at, and showing him he is fantastic. And the only time Rashford was on a slump was when Ronaldo was there and we were trying to play to his strengths. For me, though, it's Casemiro, because, as has already been said by Kojo, almost took the word right out of my mouth. The moment he was missing, it was panic, utter panic. Let's be honest, amongst the fans. Ten Hag said you could see, he might have said in his press conference, we've got ways to deal with it, we'll work our way around it. But the moment the camera panned to him, and he knew the moment he was going missing from the Arsenal game after the Palace loss and everything else, you just knew what was coming, and you just saw that moment of like, Ten Hag, head in hands for that brief moment. The camera caught it, you can't take it away. It was he knew, everybody knew, everybody knows how big Casemiro's role is in the team, and we're feeling it again already. We saw it in the Southampton game, which, let's be honest, was absolutely ridiculous. We've seen it before, and we've already spoke about it in this show of the difference it's going to make of him not being there for the Newcastle game and the next two games after that. It's going to be massive for us. I think that we have got other goal scorers in the team. Don't get me wrong, Rashford, we really miss him when he's not there, even for half a game. But we can ultimately get other people who can get goals over the line. We cannot get anybody else who controls the midfield the way he does in his box to box and his goals that he's given us as well. You know, he's already won goal of the season from us based on the way he got it, the timing he got it, the celebration and his passion and everything behind it. So for me, my player of the season, as much as I'm absolutely made up for Rashford, it's a very close second. But for me, it's got to be Casemiro.
Yeah, 100%. So it's only me left then, or I lost the count. Is everyone spoken here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, this is so hard, you know, but I just have to compare. Comparing again where we were last year when we had that donut hole with McFred, and we were crying out for years for that, you know, defensive midfielder. We finally replaced Carrick, you know, after 6 years almost, and that was Casemiro, right? Nobody's ever mentioned in this podcast about Lisandro Martinez and Varane, the partnership. That's been the backbone. But Jay Daly always talks about the Bermuda Triangle of Manchester, which has been formed. And that is starting with Martinez, Varane, and on top of that triangle is Casemiro. Casemiro, for me, is 100% the one that we've been crying out for. He's the one that has been shown leadership. I mean, we're talking about 5-time championship winner Casemiro bringing that quality leadership. He played 500 professional games without even being sent off until he came to Premier League and got 2 red cards. But usually, like, you know, most goal scorers always get because people remember goals. But I'm looking at the old dynamics of transformation of the team, and he's the engine. He's the El Registra, and he's the tip of that Bermuda Triangle. So I love all the players in here, but if I have to pick one, it has to go to El Casemiro. You know, El Casemiro. Definitely, he's my man of the year, to be honest. That's my take on the guys. So yeah, looks like we're gonna see at the end of the season, right?
True. I rearranged my organs. I think Luke Shaw is the left leg, and Varane is the right leg. Martinez is the lungs. David De Gea is the stomach. Bruno is the spine. Casemiro is the heart. Rashford is the face, which is on the head. So you chop off the head. Obviously, the body is useless. And Maguire is just a toenail.
Big up, guys. Listen. We have had a fantastic. We've been out of streaming. We haven't been doing a live stream for quite a while.
Can I just add? Sorry, I just want to say to Powerhour, I think that Maguire has to be the forehead.
Maguire.
Jesus.
Oh my daisy!
You know what? Maguire's going to do a lot for us, guys. That 40 million he's going to bring in is going to do a lot.
Listen. That was a good one. That was punch below the belt, Phil Standish. I didn't know you had it in your locker, guys. It's been an absolutely pleasure to speak to all of you. Bryant, it was good to see you again. Been trying to get you on for months and months and months. I know how busy you are, but I always appreciate your late WhatsApp calls to me. Brother Powerhour, I know that, you know, the time difference between us, 12 hours. No, actually, it's summertime now, so it's less. But soon we will be closer because I'm going back to Europe.
Yeah.
Phil Standish, I know how busy you are with your family. Appreciate I haven't seen you on the stream. You're back. So good to talk football in Manchester United. Kojo, I don't know. He's spinning some plates in the background. You spin me like a wreck. Kojo, are you there? But, well, Kojo is gone probably. I love Kojo as well. I've been on his podcast as well, 3 in the Midfield. Absolutely smashing podcast. Guys, before we continue, where can we find us? I start with Powerhour. You're a regular on Realist TV.
Yeah. So you can find me on Mufc Realist TV. That's where you can find me. Hit the like button, subscribe. That's where you'll find me. Also, I have a YouTube thing also too. It's called Football Power. Thank you,
Paul. Twitter man. We always
I'm
seeing
on
each other's
Twitter
spaces.
Spaces. Oh, you'll find me. I would say look for the United logo and the Qatari flag, but I've got an army of them guys now.
Yeah, Paul, we're looking
always
forward
on
to
the
do
Twitter
some.
Spaces.
Paul and I have been doing a lot of takeover talks on other spaces, and we were talking about to do something like a watch along kind of thing, closer to the final crescendo race, Paul. So looking forward. Thank you for coming online. Apologies to your wife. We dragged out of time. I'm gonna return you back safely to her as I promised. Yeah, okay.
Should be going to bed now.
Yeah. Mr. Bryant, Stinson, always a pleasure, sir. You know, I hope it's not going to pass a million years until we see each other again. But where can they find you, Bryant?
Yeah, I'm kind of around on Twitter. I'll be in some different spaces and things like that, trying to get as involved as I can, talking Man United more often. So hopefully this won't be the last time for a while that I'm around.
I swear to God, like it was, I think it was 2-3 weeks ago. Like I have a habit. I don't know. I have a sleeping habit. So whenever I go to sleep, I always put like YouTube or podcast. And I was half away of sleeping, and I hear Brian's voice. It's like, I know this voice. And I saw you, like you were with Terry Lewis on, the terrace. Cool.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yes, thank you.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so very, very quickly, I'm mainly on Twitter and on the podcast with Mick on Mufc Realist TV, and also the Man United agenda as well.
Yeah, we are too, and same with Powerhour as well.
So, Bryant and Paul, I know where to find Phil and Kojo, but like you said, I should just download the Twitter app, and then what happens? How do I find you guys? Like, do you have a handle?
Yeah, my handle is, it's weird. It's called @Frothos because it's my old gamer tag from years ago. Oh. So it's @FROTHOZ.
Yeah, I can share with you later.
When I was like 18. Yeah, we can share later. Share later.
And the question is, how do we find Kojo? He's like the invisible man right now. He's muted.
It's Kojo at 3 in midfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 in midfield.
That's his YouTube channel, guys. I can share everyone's handles later on the show. It's getting late, people. For me, it's like almost 4:00 a.m. in Thailand. But listen, thank you so much. It's been a lovely almost 2 hours of talking United, trebles. You know, we looked at all the goals. I might even have to clip this video up in different parts because it's so good. Like, I don't know who's going to watch 2 hours of video. Like, yeah, today's DNA, yeah. But guys, thank you for coming on. Go back, be nice to each other on the socials. Be patient. Don't listen to the media spin regarding the takeovers. Take it with a pinch of salt, whatever's coming out. There's an NDA signed out, and hopefully we will have a conclusion who will be the owner of Manchester United. But if we have a punt, if we have a bet, leave that in the comments below. But guys, please like and subscribe. Follow all these beautiful gentlemen that was in the podcast. And guys, see you soon as we play Newcastle over the weekend. This is Mick Ruby, Mufc Realist TV. This is Phil. Kojo disappeared. Thank you, Botswana, Papi, Football Power Hour, Paul, Bryant. Guys, it was a pleasure. See you.
Good night.
Bye for now. Good night. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.